Good morning, LinkedIn family. It's time for another Coffee with Bob. And today I am very pleased to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Russ Johns. He barely needs an introduction because most people know about the pirate broadcast. And I was just recently very, very honored to be a part of that pirate broadcast. And it was amazing. And now he's actually agreed to be on the hot seat here. So Russ, thank you so much for joining me on Coffee with Bob.
The pleasure is all mine, Bob. Hot seat does very little to share what value and appreciation I have for being here. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me on your show as well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I think what's cool is I got exposed to people I never got exposed to on your show. And it is my very sincere hope that I get to expose people to you that don't even know who you are. So just in case, tell us a little bit about what Russ Johns and the Pirate Broadcast is all about.
I'd love to. So the Pirate Broadcast, I'm a host of the Pirate Broadcast, which is a live streaming show every morning, 7 a.m. Arizona time, where I interview interesting people doing interesting things. So the range and the depth of the conversations can be from one end to the other, and it's always educational, inspiring, and hopefully motivate somebody to do something and take action with. So
Yeah, they definitely are that, and kudos to you to doing it every single day. I mean, I might do 3 or 4 of these interviews a day, but they're only 10 minutes long. I could not imagine doing a 30-minute interview every single day.
well, the reality is, and you've experienced this now that you're a pirate, is it's kind of a testing ground, if you will, for the pirate syndicate, because the processes that I've developed, the strategies and the systems that I put in place allow me and the producer of the show to actually generate a very easy access. It's easy to access the show. It's easy to get on. It's easy to actually require and connect with other people. So it's amazing what's been taking place and the amount of activity and support I have from the pirate community.
Yeah, I've been following the broadcast for a while now, even before we finally got connected, and even before I was able to have the honor of being on your show, and now having you here. So it's been amazing to watch it grow. I mean, talk about all the different channels that you're across now with the Pirate Broadcast.
Yeah, it's well, I LinkedIn Live is one, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and YouTube as well. And then once the show is completed, I take that episode and a transcription is created, and then also a podcast is created. So I'm on all the podcasting platforms like, Apple, iTunes,
Mhm.
Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and all of the major locations where fine podcasts are sold.
Sold or found, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not just a podcaster though. Talk about the other side of Rush Johns that some people probably don't even realize at this point.
Oh yeah. Well, I have been in marketing and media since 1985. I've been in the advertising industry and technology since 92. We were talking about that as well on the Pirate Broadcast. And the reality is that I actually have the Pirate Syndicate, which produces shows for other individuals and creates content to be, offer a little bit of introduction to your business to be seen, be heard, and be talked about. And it's about content creation and exposure and authority, because it just seems like when you're having a conversation like this, you become visible,
Mhm.
people get curious, and if they like and appreciate what you're doing, they might even call you and say, hey, I want to work with you.
Right.
So
Yeah. And that's why I like doing the Coffee with Bob is to focus on the other person and give them exposure to what they're doing.
yeah,
Who knows? I talked about this during our interview, and I talk about this all the time. One connection can change a life,
yeah.
and I really do believe that.
Well, you're one conversation away, and we are so connected in this world today. 5, 10 years ago, this was impossible to do, and now we're doing it every day. People are all around the world are connecting, they're having conversations, they're actually gathering up information on different topics, different subjects, and just really growing when for the individuals that care to do and expand their knowledge and skills.
Yeah, yeah. And the Pirate Broadcast Syndicate is just, it's so huge, and your productions are just so polished. I think you could be that one connection for someone who's looking to get into that could really change their life.
Well, not only that, Bob, is that I'm actually taking individuals and teaching them how to produce shows for other individuals. So building a team for larger organizations, we just finished, in fact, I just got off the call before this interview and talking to an individual that put on a large event. And I had a team of producers interviewing and supporting that whole event. And everything worked well. I mean, it went smoothly. They were happy. The end client was happy. The organization was happy, and the community was happy. So it's way we're doing business right now. And it's important for us to understand that you don't have to stop doing business just because you can't go to an actual event.
Right.
You know, virtual events are really popular, and there's some things that are going on that are very creative. And I invite you to have a conversation. I'm more than happy to talk to you, to anyone that wants to talk about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, so that's a good point that virtual events are catching on. When we finally get onto the other side of this whole pandemic, how do you think your business, right, and the Pirate Broadcast is going to change? Will you have more in-person interviews?
That's a great question, Bob. And the Pirate Syndicate and the Pirate Broadcast started long before 2020. And as a result, my idea and my intention is that an organization could actually have live events where we're interviewing people in place, and then taking that content creation and serving it up and sharing it with the organization internal for culture, developing culture, for working with sponsors and vendors to grow in awareness and understanding and become almost educational for a lot of individuals. And so I just see it as evolving. I see it, changing and growing and finding a different home in a different organization. So it's going to continue to be there. Also, think about all of the expos and the conferences and the organizations that have events. It's really nice to be able to do some of these things, because like this week or a week from now, I actually have a live event, small individual gathering, but we're live streaming that live event out to the entire community that, doesn't have access, or they can't travel, or they are not available to go there. So doing those combinations are going to be really key for the future and the growth and expansion of the Pirate Syndicate.
Awesome. That's incredible. Yeah. So if you're not connected with Russ, and if you're not following him or engaging with him, you definitely need to. He gives away gold daily, right? His interviews are super interesting. You'll learn something every time. Russ Johns is the man. Russ, thank you so much for being on Coffee with Bob with me. I truly appreciate it. And thank you for everything that you do for the community.
Gratitude, Bob. Thank you.
And all right, so I got to ask you to do this for me. Russ has a great tagline at the end of all of his interviews that he always says, "Can you please take us out with that?"
Yes. And as you always know, it's because kindness is cool and smiles are free. And we want you to enjoy your day.
Awesome. Have a great day.
Take care, Bob.
Bye-bye.